10th of August. I'm Tom Young. I'm here for Anchor FM podcast named Money Shifts and Facebook Live at the Family Money Farm Group. This is the message, folks. This is the only message that is out here that is not out to get you. It is out to inform you of the truth. The truth is all around us, but we sometimes get a clouded mind because of all of the advertising and marketing and information that comes at us from every direction. I'll get back to that in a minute. Every day we start our program with prayers for everybody in the world. Today and for the next couple of days, unbeknownst to many, many people, there is a reveal happening at frankspeech.com. You need to check it out, frankspeech.com. I hope enough of you see and hear this. You share it with other people. This is world-changing information about how the elites of the world are trying to take over everything. frankspeech.com. You need to go there. I am praying today, and hopefully you are praying for everybody in the world because this affects everybody. We're going to talk about 401ks today, but compared to what else is going on around us that is being hidden and masked and blocked by the news media of the world, it's important. With all of my heart and all of my energy, I hope you hear these words and you share them with other people. We need to continue to pray for everybody around the world. We need to pray for those who have been lost because of this pandemic. I feel the pain of people that died alone. And we need to pray for those who have been lost, that the Lord would gather them into his arms and take them to his heaven above. In Jesus' name, we pray. Again, I'll mention it one last time, frankspeech.com. Check it out. We've been talking about 401ks this week. We're going to talk about this kind of stuff all month long. It is time to finally get to you and give you the correct information to understand that you need to have alternative ways to save for retirement. You know, I have a client. This is an actual client, and she was an IT manager at a company in St. Louis, and she was making, now this is 1998, and she was making $125,000 a year at that time, 105. And her husband was making 15, so the household income was 125,000 in 1998. That was a lot of income. She was putting $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year into her 401k, and her company was matching her with an additional $9,000. So that's $21,000 every year going into her 401k. We sat down and I had a conversation with her and I asked her what interest rate, conservatively, did she think she would average as a rate of return on her 401k? And she gave me the indication of 6%. She said that is what she expected and believed it could be earned ongoing as an average rate of return. She already had accumulated $43,357 into this account. $43,357 in this account. So if I push it out for 25 years, because they were 40 and 41 years old, so in 25 years, that $43,357 at 6% interest would grow to $214,595. The $12,000 plus the $9,000 the company was matching would grow to $1,221,284 over this period of time. So in 25 years, they would have approximately $1,435,800 in this account. $1,435,000 in this account. The tax at that time is $669,000 would be the tax. So after tax and counting their home, their value would be $859,526 would be the future value after tax of this account. So many people I meet, when I talk to them about their 401k, and they say, well, gee, I've got 200,000, I've got 400,000, I have $900,000 in my 401k. And I have to remind them that their 401k does not belong to them. It is a government account, and they will only receive the net balance after the government collects its taxes and any and all fees along the way in this 401k. I did not calculate any fees in this calculation. So she started with $43,357 in the account, adding $12,000, the employer adding $9,000. For a future value of $1,435,000, taxes of $669,000. So the value after tax of her accounts and her home and everything is $859,526. Now that's the story. Now, putting in $12,000 a year plus $9,000 employer, they put in over $550,000, the $43,000 that's there, and on and on and on. So there was close to $550,000 put into this account. So it appears that there is a gain on her money. However, remember along the way, there is very little of any access to this money without severe penalties possibly and taxes to access this money. So I look at their debt window, and they had a mortgage with a $52,000 balance, a home equity loan with a $10,000 balance, a car loan with $2,189 balance, and another car loan with $6,540. They had 3 kiddos that were 13, 13, and 11, pair twins. And their monthly debt payment was $1,258 a month that they were paying other financial institutions. The average interest rate at that time that they were paying across this was about 6% interest was the interest they were paying. However, the hidden tax, the stealth tax, as I would call it, you may have heard the term inflation. We are now facing unbelievable inflationary numbers. And I see in the newspaper this morning, the government just passed another $1.2 trillion spending bill. And they're talking about another $3.5 trillion in addition to, and they're saying there is not going to be any inflation. Do you understand where inflation comes from? Inflation is where they print more money and push it into the economy. It makes your dollars worth less. It doesn't mean the prices of things go up. It means the purchasing power of your dollar goes down. And they're saying now that the inflation rate projected for the year as of now is about 5.5%, and they expect it to continue to increase and go higher and higher by the end of the year. We may see inflation as high as 10, 12, or 15%. And it's not like that hasn't happened in the past. In 1979 and 1980, we saw 15.6% inflation. In 1991, we saw 13.6% inflation. So this is not something that has never happened before, and it could be worse this time than ever before because of the amount of debt and the amount of money the government continues to shove into the marketplace. But the historical average of inflation for the last 30 years, using the government's numbers, knowing that they have been manipulated 4 or 5 times over the last 30 years, every time inflation appeared to get higher, the government would change the mix of goods and services that they monitor for price increases to determine inflation. In 1979, there were 13 elements of the economy they used to determine inflation. In 1980, they removed 2 of those from the basket. In 1990, they removed 2 more from the basket. In 1986, they put in military and unemployment rates, which are multipliers and calculations in this calculation. And here we are today. And today they use 3 elements out of the 13 to determine inflation. People say to me, well, what don't they use? It doesn't matter. They don't use food. They don't use fuel. They don't use gasoline. They don't use mortgages. They don't use automobiles anymore. All of the things that you and I on a daily basis have unbelievable experience at rising prices. I mean, gasoline alone in the last 10 months, 12 months has gone up over 30% to drive our automobile. And that's crazy because we were fuel independent and gas was like $1 something, right around $2 a gallon a year ago. Crazy. However, if I apply inflation to this calculation, the dollar in 25 years at 3% inflation is only worth 47 cents, 47.7 cents. So that means lost was 52.3% of the value of $1 was lost. That equates to an additional $400,739 in lost purchasing power of this wonderful 401k. So it renders the value of your 401k in today's dollars at $365,492 in today's dollars, and you put in over $550,000 over 25 years. I don't know about you, but to me, that just does not sound like a good deal. The message, folks, is you have to find other assets to invest in, other ways to have access to capital, to avoid debt, to become your own banker, to own the debt, pay yourself the interest that you are willing to pay other people. And this doesn't happen overnight. It's a long-term strategy. But the sooner you get started, the sooner you will see immediate success. There will be results that can be obtained almost immediately from doing things differently. Our quote for today, I almost forgot about it. We're still talking about Albert Einstein. And our quote for today is weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Whoa. Let me say that again. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Your attitude is all you have. If you struggle with having a positive attitude and you have a negative attitude, a pessimistic attitude, it's going to be very hard to find any real success in your life. Get over it. Be positive. You're alive today. You're on this side of the grass. You have another opportunity to make a difference in the world. Take advantage. Share this video today. This is the most important video that I have ever done because fearlessly I have shared the location of truthful information about how elections have been manipulated, how the elite billionaires of the world are trying to create one world order and turn everybody else into socialists, a socialistic future. The only problem with socialism is they take money from the so-called wealthy, and sooner or later they run out of money and don't have any more places to take money from and the whole thing collapses. Look at Venezuela and Cuba and around the world, North Korea, Iran. All of these countries have no real financial independence, no financial hope for the public's future because they have no freedom. We cannot lose our freedom. I don't care what country you're in, folks. It is worth fighting for that freedom. God bless. I'll see you again tomorrow at noon. We will continue our discussion of retirement planning and where to save money and how to maximize the efficiency of everything you do financially. Get my new book, The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project. You can also go to cfo-project.com. It's right here on the screen. Put in your name and email address, and you'll get instantly a link and a copy of my book downloaded onto your computer, cover to cover. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. Bye-bye.